Good morning, children. Lesson number 13, natural vegetation. Natural vegetation. So, we already studied introduction to the natural vegetation and what are forest. Now, we'll study about the importance of forest. Importance of forest. Importance of forest. Forest play important role in our lives. They are very useful to us. Forest play important role in our lives. They are very useful to us. First point, they supply oxygen to the air. They help in causing rainfall and make the air cool. Trees help to prevent soil erosion and thus control floods. They provide shelter to many animals. See, dear children, the importance of forest, of course, I already explained to you. The forest, how important it is for us and what is the role of the forest in our lives. Of course, every one of you know why the forests are and how do the forest help us. So, many times, whenever I have taken the class, I have given you enough of examples about the rain and the trees, the connectivity. Of course, the trees supply oxygen to the air. So many times, since in olden days, if you go back to the olden days, why people were very healthy? People were living nearly 100 years, 102, 103. There are people those who lived even 110. Why and how? So, only because of the trees around us. So, even those days there was heavy rainfall. Places were receiving very heavy rainfall because of the forest, because of the trees. So people were very healthy. They never used to go to doctors as nowadays people are going. They never visited any sorts to the doctors. They were depending on Ayurvedic medicine or some homemade medicines, etc. Why? Because people were completely depending on the livelihood only by nature. Only by nature, what the nature is giving. It can be cultivation of the crops, agriculture, or the fruits from the trees, whichever they are grown, whichever they could get from the forest, and the oxygen from the fresh trees. So that is how people were having very good health, and people used to work very hard. Working hard, eating well, and having good health. But when I compare those days to these days, where are the trees? Where are the trees? Very hardly we can see, apart from the forest. So, very hardly we can see the trees around our house or surrounding our places. Why it is happening like that? Why? Because man has changed. Because man has changed. He wants everything the luxury life. Man does not want to labor hard, work hard. Man does not want to sweat. Now people are cutting down the trees and making the places to construct the houses. completely destroying the forest, of course the nature is revolting against man. You see, many people are left farming. Many people simply they are destroying the forest, the trees. Why? Because they want best of the best furniture in their houses, best doors in their houses, or the cupboards, etc. So man is using all these things. Of course, if they want best of the best things, the trees has to provide them. So for that, man is misusing the trees or the forest. So therefore, nowadays, we people are suffering a lot because our places, our areas, our society is what you call mixed with the pollution. Everywhere the pollution has spoiled our health. Too much of vehicles, too much of the uncleanliness around us, the cutting of the trees, the scarcity of rain. All this is causing the very severe or the serious illness to the man. So now also we can see whenever we have some natural calamities, natural disasters, we blame the nature. We blame the nature. Even then we know why the nature is acting like that, why nature is going against the man. We know the reason, but how far the man is realizing, how far the man is realizing that it is happening because of me, it is happening because of us all. But man, even though he know the reason, even though he know why it is happening, but still man is continuing to deforestation. So therefore, dear children, now where can you get the oxygen, the fresh oxygen, the pure oxygen? Where do you get? When the trees have been mixed up with the pollution, where do you get? Even the trees are not able to produce you the fresh air. Of course, second point says they help in causing rainfall and make the air cool. Of course, this is the good characteristics of the trees. Wherever trees are there, wherever the well forests are there, always that place receives very good heavy rainfall. So the character of the trees, each tree is helping or causing the rainfall to fall. But whereas now there are no trees, from where the rain will come, from where the rain fall? Because when the trees are there, trees were helping to catch hold of the winds, the blowing, the moving clouds. So that is how the blowing winds could cause the rainfall in certain places. So now that is not there. That is not there. Why? Because the land is barren. The land is barren. The land has become desert. There is no much growth of the plantation. Of course, the farmers are growing the crops that is wanted to eat. But where do we have which can cause by nature to the goodwill of man? Nowhere. So therefore, dear children, so the trees cause rainfall and make the air cool. So this is the good character of the trees. But man is misusing once again for his wants and unwants. Third point says trees help to prevent soil erosion and thus control floods. Of course, it is very much true. So when there are trees, the soil will be tightened. The soil easily will not collapse, soil will not break, soil will not be loosened. So when the trees are there, the roots of the tree will catch hold of the mud. But when the trees have been cut, that place will be shaken, or that place will be very weak when the heavy rainfall or the earthquake or the flood. So the soil erosion will take place. The landslides will take place. Why? Because there is no any uh, base in it. There is no any strongness in it because of the cutting of the tree. Because the cutting of the tree can cause the soil erosion and floods. Because when there are trees, the man can survive. The soil erosion will not take place. So it can control the flood also, because when there are trees, so many things can go and touch to the trees. Many people can take shelter on the trees, but nothing is there. Nothing is there means so many things can happen. So this is the good. By nature, the trees help to prevent the soil erosion and thus control the floods. Then last point, they provide shelter to many animals. Yes, of course. Since there are forests, we have varieties of animals. So because they provide the shelter to the many animals. The animals which we see is very rare animals we see. Very common animals like a dog, cattle, buffaloes, fox, wolf, and some other like very. But there are animals, very huge animals, big animals, very wild animals, arrogant animals are there, but they never come to the places. So they always take shelter in the forest. If at all they come to the city or town, there will be a problem. Eating of the children, eating of the animals, or killing of the people, etc. So therefore, the forest will provide shelter to many animals. Of course, even the animals need shelter. So therefore, the importance of the forest, you can see here the points here: erosion control, the tree will control, timber, and the habitat, food, oxygen, clean air. The one tree can give so many things for us. So many things it can give, or it can control. So therefore, let us keep in mind how important the forest is. Let us in our own way, wherever you and me can try to plant the plants, so that we too may have a good future to live.